Hi, my name is Josh Hall and I'm going to show you how to do your own barn door kit on a work light like this. This is really going to up the production value of your films, and I'm going to show you how to do barn doors that will close all the way on your work light and that will also be done with less material than other videos that you'll see on YouTube. Now the other videos are really good. If you haven't checked out Mark Epsilon, he does great tutorials on these kind of things. I'd recommend checking his videos out. What we're going to do in this video though is I'm just going to show you very concise and quick way to do these. It's really going to help light up your subjects and do all those fun light things that you see everyone doing, the professionals, and you're going to do it for a lot less money, and you're also going to have a professional looking light. So what you're going to need for this build is you're going to need these. I picked these up at Lowe's. What these are 1/2 inch self-close overlay hinges. These are fantastic little guys, and these are going to put the tension on your barn doors. Those come in a 2-pack for about $3. We're also going to have these screws. You're going to need 2 8-packs of these nuts and bolts right here, and these are 8/32 by 3/8. You're going to need a drill. You're going to need, of course, your light that you can get at Walmart for around $10 to $12. You're going to need some cutting shears. These are fantastic. Pick these up at Home Depot, lifetime warranty. And then you're going to need your big sheet of metal right here. You can get aluminum like this. I got this at Lowe's. It'll do probably 2 or 3 lights of this sort, and it's probably about $9. So you're going to do this very cheap, but it's going to look good, and it's going to be fantastic for your films. And I'm excited. Hope you're excited. So let's get to it. These are the dimensions for the barn doors for my version of your work light with the barn doors. So as you're going to see here, along this edge here for the side barn door, it's going to be 4.5 inches this way. Now up here, it's going to be 2 inches this way, and then the total length of this barn door is going to be 5.5 inches. Looking at this barn door here, which are going to be your top and bottom barn doors, you're looking at 6.5 inches along this bottom edge, and you're looking at 8 inches along this top edge, and 1.5 inches for your little boxed off edges here, and then the entire thing is going to be 5.5 inches in length. The reason I'm explaining that is because I know that these numbers in my little diagram system here can be a little confusing, so there it is laid out for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our metal sheet here, and we're going to just cut it with our metal cutters here. You're likely going to want to sand down the edges. That's so that nobody slices their finger open on the edge, which, you know, would not be a good thing on a film set. So now we're going to be working with the work light. You're going to want to pop this piece of glass out right here, because you don't want that to break. You really want to keep that piece of glass there. Now for this part, this is where it gets a little tricky, and this is where you need to take some time to make sure that you're going to do this right. If you come in. Alright, so right here. Now what's going to happen is, if you put this on right here, you're going to notice that it's in an angle where that barn door is going to come down right here, and it's going to hit your glass, and it's going to break it. It's just going to go straight through here when your barn door closes because of the angle that this is at right here. So this is the part that you have to be very careful about, and what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to make your holes back here lower. And so you don't want that to actually close all the way. You're going to want it about there. And I know that looks kind of awkward, but that's so that this line right here coming off of the edge of this thing, the edge of your rim right here on the glass part, is not going to go down into your glass. It's going to keep it parallel with the glass. So just be very conscious of that when you go ahead and make your marks back here for the holes and screw this into to the metal plate here. So just once again, you're going to want it down like this. Once you get all your points marked, as I've done here on all 4 sides, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take your drill and you're just going to drill out those points. The drill bit that I'm using here is an 11/64 bit, and I'm just gonna drill into all these points here. So the next step in our process here is going to be to attach your hinges right back here, just as I've done. And then you are going to have to mark here on the face plate where you're going to put your screws in. So for instance, right there and right there. Usually you're going to want to make it flush right here with the end of your barn door. There's a few things that I wanted to note before I continue here with the tutorial. The first thing is that as you've noticed, I have all of the hinges on here, and you're going to notice that this hinge is placed with the wider end where we're going to connect the barn door to, and this one has the smaller edge where we connect the barn door to. And the reason for that is because you've got this head up here where you're going to be bolting your lid closed here, and that causes a real big problem when you're looking at this wider edge, so I use the smaller edge there. It's no problem, but a word to the wise, you're going to want to go down as far as you can without obstructing this barn door, because you've got this curve here, this bend in the metal, and it's going to be really hard for you to get your nut in there so that you can bolt it down if you're not far enough back. The other thing quickly that I wanted to mention is when you're looking at the side door here, I put the bolts in going inwards toward the lamp. Now this is important when you're closing your barn doors. Whereas on this one, I've put the barn door, I put the bottom barn door bolts going up away from your lamp. That's important because you don't want, in the closing barn door system, which is the arrangement that I've made here, you don't want these bolts obstructing the closing of your barn doors. And so you've got a smooth part here and a smooth part here, and so when you close your barn doors, they're going to go right flat on top of each other, which is really going to be fantastic for transporting these things and carrying them around wherever you have to go. The other thing that I should mention is on this part of the barn door here, I've put it right up to the edge right here of this back metal part on your hinge, and that's really probably the best place for it. Whereas on this one, you'll notice that I didn't put it flush with the edge of the barn door. I actually let it sag down just a little bit lower than the edge of this part of the barn door, and that's just gonna keep this part here, when you're closing it, from allowing it to shut really forcefully, because you've got that little piece of metal right there keeping this barn door from closing all the way. These are just little things that you can really basically eyeball. I don't have any diagrams for this, but once again, you're going to want to make sure that this side barn door does not close all the way. You'll notice that it's sticking up a little bit. This clamp doesn't go all the way back, and then when you're looking at this one here, it's going to close, but not all the way. Once again, you'll see that it's not closing flush. There's a little bit of space there. That's because this barn door is pushed back a little bit, and it keeps it from closing all the way. So here's kind of one of the final stages here of your own light setup. So what we've done here is put the barn doors on. Once again, screws going out on your top and bottom ones, screws going in on your side barn doors there. So now what you've got are these these beautiful lights that you can use for whatever you'd like. And there's one final step, and that is painting them black. And I'll go ahead and do that and show you the final product. These really are beautiful though, because you can actually completely fold them up. This is really going to help you when you're going on shoots and you just need to grab your light and take it away. All right, guys. Well, this is it. This is what all of your time and effort and a little bit of money's gone into. This light costs around $20 to $30, depending on where you get your materials and how you build it. The thing that I want to mention about this particular light that I just made is that I have not included putting the glass back in. For me, this is just fine. It's the way I put the screws in. You can do yours a little bit differently by placing them so that they don't interfere with your glass. But for me, this is fine, especially because they close up all the way. So during transit, you don't have any problems like that. Anyway, so this is how I've decided to build this one. You can obviously kind of tweak yours however you'd like, but this is really a fantastic piece. You can carry it with it. You can carry it with you wherever you go, and you've got a 500-watt light that looks professional and that will do everything that you need it to do. So once again, here it is. Your closable barn door 500-watt light that can fold up like this. I'm going to give you one more view of it with the lights on so you can take a look at it. Let me turn this guy on. It's going to be very bright for you there. But what you'll see here is that you're really able to control this light now with your barn doors on there, which is really a fantastic thing. And of course, as with any production lights, you can buy the foil that you can put up at the top around this area where a little bit of light seeps through. That's fairly inexpensive. That's something you're going to do with any light. But this is fantastic. You can use it and point any direction that you'd like. Really going to enhance the quality of your films. So there you have it. That's how to build your closable barn door 500-watt work light. And if you have any questions, feel free to post. Feel free to subscribe. There's going to be a lot more tutorial videos where this one came from, and look forward to having you come back and visit again. Thanks.